welcome to the channel. I'm glad that you could make it. It is a beautiful day that the Lord has made. I will rejoice and be glad in it, and I am glad that you could make it. Welcome, enjoy. So we are a long way from home, and we have a 1995 Chevy K3500 that we need to try to get back home, like 6, 7, 8, a bunch of hours home, and we need to get it to run. So let's get to it. Man, that's pretty. And just like that, it goes from sunny and beautiful to overcast and it's probably going to rain. So here it is. 1995 Chevy K3500 dually. And to those guys that know a little bit, and ladies that know a little bit about these OBSs, that can tell you right there that this has the best motor ever offered in an OBS truck. Oh, that's right. So let's look it over and I'll show you kind of, well, what I bought. It doesn't look bad, but it's got some deals. So yeah, it's up on blocks and 2x4s, and yeah, so it's really not that bad. You can kind of see there's some lichens growing on it, and well, you know, looking for rust in all the wrong places, looking for rust in too many places. So yeah, cab corners are starting to go out. It's got all kinds of good moss, and yeah, it's not bad, I guess. It needs to be cleaned. So a little whiskey dent there, looks like. Actually, that looks like, yeah, a trailer came off. That'd be my guess, right? Yeah, it's kind of gross. It's, you know, well, it's duals. 1, 2. It's got dual exhaust on it. That must sound neat. Yeah, let's kind of, it's gross. It's been sitting a while. According to what I'm told, is it kind of just, the guy bought it, second owner, right? Put like, I don't know, 100,000 miles on it, and then got a different truck, and now it's just kind of, they've been dumping parts into it, and it's kind of just getting to be a money pit. So, of course, I'm going to buy it, right? And try to make it my money pit, because that's what I need, is another money pit. Yeah, that cab corner looks like maybe it was patched at one time. And then, yeah, and that rocker panel is out. But the frame doesn't look bad. It's, I don't know, it's maybe it was painted or undercoated. And all kinds of good lichens here. And Jen was here. All right. So everything is pretty well. I mean, it's all here. So we can work with that. According to the gentleman that I got this from, he was doing brakes on it, wheel bearings or hubs, you know, wheel hubs, and that side, or maybe it was this side, one of the sides, they could not get the bolts off, whatever, so they kind of just, yeah, they gave up. And it was leaking fuel when they were doing it, and it's just, there's issues with it, okay? So there's issues with it. Let's see if we can't get this hood popped open. Interior's nice. Looks like, yeah, a little Bondo there. And there's a hole. But I guess for the year, for a 95 with 175,000 miles on it, it's, I bet you he likes Pringles and, I don't know what this is, spark water. So it came with a bunch of parts because, like I said, it was a money pit. They were throwing parts at it and they wanted to fix it up, and then he just decided on giving up on it. So with 175,000 miles, that's nothing on these diesels. It's not, I don't know, I mean, it needs to be cleaned, don't get me wrong. There's burn marks and whatever in there, but let's see. Power everything. Well, it is a Silverado, so looks like it's got lumbar. Wow, this is nicer than anything I've ever owned. It's the interior is clean. So yeah, it's got roof lights on it, so those probably maybe leak a little bit. Maybe not. It's at least you put a thing here to keep the dash from getting cracked even worse. I'm sure it's got all kinds of issues. So yeah, so it looks like that's probably a hub. Yeah, that looks like a hub. Okay, well, and then fuel line, we'll go to that side. Okay, let's open up the hood and we'll just see what's underneath there. All right, so like I said, they were dumping they're throwing parts at it. So it's got a lot of new parts I see on here. People, just your basic things that you want to do to a 6.5 turbo diesel with all the power. It's got a relocated PDM, a new alternator. Yeah, so it's missing the batteries, but it looks like, oh yeah, went with the bolts. Which that's fine. I'm cool with that. Yeah, he said that he pretty much just been throwing parts at it and it's just gotten too much. So yeah, that's all nice. Newer belt. I mean, that's decent. I think that looks like, yeah, a new harmonic balancer too, which that's kind of one of the issues with these 6.5s. Even the air filter. So let's see. Nice. Rock Auto Parts. Yeah. So here is, yep, that's the new wheel hub. Looks like 3/8 line. That's like 25 feet of it, I'm sure. It looks like some's been cut off. Okay, so got that. Oil filter, nice. Oh, brake calipers and brake hoses. So, hoses? Yeah, hoses. So, what I was told by him was it feels like there's only rear brakes, that the front brakes are not working. And he said it still stopped when they parked it, but it still did not feel good. So he was going to put new brakes on it, new hoses, and then while they're in there, they were going to do wheel bearings. They did one side, but not the other side, and then they never got around to the brakes, and da-da-da-da-da. You know how life goes. it just kept getting pushed back and pushed back and pushed back. And then the batteries must have got stolen at some point. And, you know, I guess it is what it is. Then I come along and I score on probably the nicest truck I have ever owned. It was within the budget. And it was worth, I hope, the drive. So it is four-wheel drive. It's the K3500. That's the 6.5 turbo diesel. Looks like a lot of stuff has been done to it. I don't know anything about the transmission, but supposedly everything was kind of functioning. Besides, we need to look at the fuel line and see if it'll even run, because he hasn't driven it or even ran it because of that leaking fuel, fuel lines just dumping fuel, I guess, everywhere. And it's been a while. I mean, I don't know how long. He said it's been at least a few years. And it's been kind of pushed around the yard just to get it out of the way for everything. So let's see what we can do about throwing some batteries in this thing and see if we can't get it to show us where its leak is. And ka-cha. Not sponsored. Rural King. I mean, have you ever been to that place? That place is like Quality Farm and Fleet meets Tractor Supply Company. That place is awesome. So, they're in there. And I'm wondering, I was just thinking now while I threw the batteries in, of course. Sometimes those fuel filter canisters, I don't know if I can even see back there. There. They have a gasket on the bottom. I wonder if it's not leaking there. Oh. He also likes chocolate sprinkles. Pringles, water, and chocolate sprinkles. Maybe we should save those for later. Kind of scoop them up. All right, batteries, both, are in. And while I was putting those in, check this out. Maybe I can get you in here, maybe not. Over here, there we go. Those are new transmission lines, and it looks like they go all the way back, both of them. So that's cool that it has new transmission lines on it, because I'm sure that wasn't fun to try and have to fish through. But and I don't know, maybe he bought them. They look pretty well bent, so that's awesome. I mean, that might be a good sign that the transmission works. Also, I noticed right here, made in Canada. So you know that's a good windshield washer fluid reservoir. Let's hop in it and see what we get, because we should be able to turn the key forward and get the lift pump to actuate, and then it might show us where there's a leak or not, and no keys. All right, let me go find the keys and then we can get to that. All right, welcome to the underside of the dually. So while he's looking for the keys that we cannot seem to find, that could become interesting. I decided I'd climb underneath here and see if I could kind of see where the leak was coming from. And I know it's not focusing in, but here is a fuel line covered in silicone, zip ties, and I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if there was electrical tape, because that's how they always seem to fix them for me whenever I find them. So I think we need to just start going at this thing here. So that's probably definitely, it looks like it's where the fitting is, like where the flange piece is, and this one's actually already been replaced. So yeah, and then while I was underneath here, I noticed, look at this nice white floor pan. So that's been replaced. I'm not going to complain about that. And also from underneath here, we can see that over here, this is another one of the fuel lines. Yeah, it's been replaced. It is rubber line all the way back. So yeah, approved. And then also right over there, you can see right there, that's actually where it goes to dual exhaust. So that's pretty neat, and it looks like it's a straight pipe with no muffler. So I'm going to try and get this taken care of, get the zip ties off of it and peel it all back and just see how nasty it is. And it looks like we're probably going to just do a hose from there to up to here and replace that piece, unless well, we'll take it apart and we'll see. All right, it's out. Yeah, it's silicone, electrical tape. There are some zip ties in there, maybe duct tape. I don't know, but yeah, it's out. So it looks like that junction was where it was leaking. I don't know for sure, but good news is I didn't have diesel run down my arm when I cut this out, so I'm not gross. However, bad news is I didn't have diesel run down my arm, so therefore that means there was no diesel in this. That may pose to be a problem why we didn't have diesel going up to the filter. However, here is my fix for this. Boom. So we'll just put a rubber hose onto the line coming from the lift pump, and the metal line will just go into the rubber hose that we cut this off of. Is it permanent? It's permanent until it starts leaking. How's that? I think it'll be fine. So let's get this thing on there and then figure out exactly why there is no diesel going up to the motor, and maybe we can hope this is the only leak we find. Installed. So also you can see the staining. I think that probably is where the leak was. If you see the staining all through here, where, I mean, I think that's where the diesel was definitely squirting out. So, I mean, that looks good. I think it'll hold fine. And then also, while I was underneath here, I kind of noticed that. Let's see if I can get you over here. There we go. See that transmission pan gasket? Oh, let me get you stable. There, that transmission pan gasket. Yeah, that looks new. So, promising on the transmission. All right, found the keys, so we're good to go there. But before we try to crank it over, this right here is the filter housing assembly, and to give the injection pump here a little, help, and the lift pump a little help from having to bleed all of that out, because obviously there's nothing in there. I don't know, we'll find out when we take it all apart, but should have drained down. So I am going to fill that up with a little special mixture. Let me show you that. But first, we got to save these chocolate sprinkles. I mean, for later. We can't let those go to waste. So let me clean up these chocolate sprinkles, and then I'll show you what I'm going to mix up. Chocolate sprinkles. Okay, so here's what I've got. I've got 2 gallons of diesel. Yes, I know it's in a gas can, whatever. And then this is just a 2-stroke mix. What I like to do is throw, 10 ounces or so of that into a couple of gallons of diesel. We will just shake and mix it up, and it should give the lift or the injection pump just a little help in lubrication. These trucks were designed not to run on the diesel we have today, but on the good old diesel. So I'm going to fill up the fuel filter canister with that, and everything else I just dump in the tank. And 2 gallons with 10 ounces mixed in there. That should help it go a long way. So let me get that all filled up, and we'll see. Well, and we'll look at the filter too, but yeah, and we'll see how it does. All right, all filled up. All that's left to do is put the ring back on, and yeah, it was almost empty. There was a little bit in the bottom, so I'm hoping that the injection pump didn't get, well, it all drained out, but I think it'll be okay. This is the bleeder on top, so we'll have to break this loose. But let me put the ring back on here to hold it down, and then we should be able to try and crank it and yeah, see if we can't bleed the air out of it. But it should fire. I mean, it's yeah, we'll see. Let's give that a shot. All right, well, before we started, I decided to check the air filter and the oil. The oil is good. The air filter, however, has a little yeah, stuff in there, but the filter itself doesn't look bad. So we can use that. Just we'll have to remove that out of there. And then I had a plan B in case, you know, my fuel thing didn't work. And this says, you know, not to use starter fluid, it'll damage. Yeah. Well, that's plan B, because come on, really? So let me get this all buttoned back up. Oil's good. We'll just get that removed, and hopefully we won't need to use that, and it'll just start up. So let's get this put together, and then we'll see if it will do anything for us. All right, we got the key, and we got power to the dash. Let's see, glow plug light anywhere. Man, this sun is not helping me. Let's see, maybe we can shut this door. Block it off a little bit. Okay, let's see. Glow plug light. It came on for a second. Glow plug light and back off. All right, let's. Okay, glow plug light. Nope. So the glow plug controller seems to be, you know, doing a great job. There it goes. Oh, she wants to. Oh, all right, good oil pressure. Half a tank of diesel. Charging good. Seat belt. We don't need to worry about that. So, all right. Well, let's I'm not seeing any leaks, and yeah, it nice. Well, let's see if we can't get it down off of those cinder blocks or cement blocks they have on there, and well, tighten the wheels down, because he just set the wheels on when he was messing around with the brakes. So I need to tighten down the lug nuts and get it down off of those cement blocks, and then we can take this thing for a test run. Well, maybe we might clean out the interior or do something with that. But yeah, we're ready for a test run. So let me get those tightened up, and then we will go and get it off the cinder blocks. So I was going to grab my camera, and it looks like this almost shot out, but is that a bird's nest? That's weird. Well, the lift pump works, so I heard that. Once I shut it off, it kept running. Lift pump's good, so I think we're good. Let me just, like I said, tighten up those front tires, get it off of the cinder blocks, cement blocks, whatever those things are, and 2x4s, and let's see if we can't get this thing for a test drive. It's going to be fun. You don't need to worry about the date code on the tire making it 11 years old and you have to drive hundreds of miles on it. All right, I got them all tightened down, and well, it's Yeah, there you go. There's the pile of cinder blocks. Yeah, that's all tight. And then I actually put air in them. This one was low. That one was fine. And, well, the outside ones on the duals, I put air in because the inside I can't get to because of how they put the rims on. So we're not doing any loads. I think it'll be fine. They don't feel like they're flat. So let's see if we, oh, and while it was up, I was like, oh, time to change the oil. So I put new oil in it, and I used the oil filter that came with it, which was a Delphi, so that's nice. And yeah, so let's see if we can get it out of here. It's really muddy, but we have four-wheel drive. And yeah, I don't know how long it's been sitting here, but let's just see if we can try and get it out. Well, four-wheel drive works. The light didn't come on, but yeah, four-wheel drive works. And nice. Well, we need to get everything packed up and loaded up so that way we can start heading home, because as you can see from the shadows, the sun is going down, so it stopped. I mean, the brakes are squishy, but it stopped. So yeah, we're gonna have to take off pretty soon. Plus, if we do have to do the brakes on it, I think I'd rather do them in a parking lot than in this mud. This is just, it's been not pleasant. Well, we're on the road. It's going pretty good. So I checked all the fluids and made sure the tires and everything looked fine. I don't see any major chunks or anything missing out of them. That looks good. The steering is a little hinky and it's making a lot of creaking and cracking noises, but hey, maybe we can turn the radio up and fix that problem. So yeah, enjoy the ride. Good morning. So we made it back at 0 dark 30 this morning, and I figure while I am having my breakfast cupcake and a nice cup of coffee, we can talk over what went down last night. So it drives fine. I mean, the steering wanders a little bit, or maybe it has some slop in it. The dash makes some creaking noises. What old truck stuff, right? The tires held up. The brakes, like he said, he thought the rear brakes were the only thing working. I don't know. I think the front brakes are working. They just kind of, they're squishy. So we'll have to look into that. And the steering, like I said, we need to get these rear duals switched around so we can actually get to the air for the inside duals. And it needs a good cleaning. Really good cleaning. Wash it down, vacuumed out. Yeah, we need to go through that definitely. However, I thought it was weird. I was kind of do the calculating on the miles per gallon when I was filling it up because, yes, the odometer works. And I was getting like 21 miles per gallon. Kind of strange. I didn't think they did that good unless, I mean, maybe it's got highway gears in it. I cruise 65, 70 down the highway. So I don't know. I mean, I think it's got potential. I think it's worth saving. It's got some rust repair, whatever. It's got some things that need to be done to it. But honestly, I think it's going to be a good kind of rig for, collecting parts, whatever we need to do. So thanks for watching. Like, share, subscribe, comment. If you subscribe, comment. Come on, just tell me, hey, I subscribe. Cool. Hey, I appreciate it. I appreciate hearing anything from you guys, especially positive stuff. So till next time, be blessed and peace. Don't you think I forgot about those chocolate sprinkles, by the way? Chocolate sprinkles. Seriously, I'm just kidding. That would be gross. Don't ever do that. Be blessed. Peace.